Well, we're going to move into our second panel discussion for this evening, and the last one. We move from the transformation of the technology industry to the transformation taking place inside the enterprise. As AI moves from individual applications to an intelligence layer across organizations, enterprises are having to rethink much more than individual technology investments. Applications, data, infrastructure, security, and decision-making are increasingly interconnected. And with that comes a fundamental rethinking of the enterprise technology stack itself. Our next session, Building the AI Native Enterprise, Stack, Security, and Strategy, will explore what it takes to build for this AI-first world. For this discussion, I'd like to request all of you to please join me in welcoming onto the stage Ketan Lodaya, Chief Digital and Information Officer, Gulf Oil India. Please give Ketan a big round of applause as he comes up. Milind Korkankar, Chief Information Officer and Chief Digital Officer, Bajaj Electricals. Anviz Rodriguez, Chief Information Officer and Senior Vice President, Tata Telebusiness Services. Amit Saxena, Vice President, Information Technology, Millennium Semiconductors. And moderating this session is Rima Tendulkar, Editor, IT and Telecom, CNBC TV 18. I'd like to request you to please give them all a huge round of applause. And with that, it's over to you, Rima.
Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, a very warm good evening to all of you. Shireen, that's a hard conversation to top up after 1 hour of that absolutely fascinating, insightful discussion. But today's conversation in the next 30 minutes is about building an AI-native enterprise. It's about a basic shift. AI shifting from being a feature in your application to building an intelligence layer for an enterprise at scale. And that requires all of us, all the companies, to rethink from ground up, whether it's your application, is your data AI ready, your infrastructure, cloud, security, everything. But before we get to how to build an AI native organization, I'd like to start with one number, and that is the ROI on AI investments. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to know the why, just one number. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most and 1 being very little or zero. What is the ROI on your AI investment for your company? Ketan?
I would say 8x with some guardrails. I'm kind of little adventurous in this, but I feel that 8x returns to 1 rupee spent is what I would look at.
Sorry, what's the number?
8x.
8x.
8 times.
Amazing.
8 times.
8 out of 10. Amit?
5 to 6 in between, I think.
5 to 6.
Yeah.
Okay, Milind?
Depends on how you evaluate these numbers, but with my particular measurement, I think it's somewhere around 4 or 5. It's still a long way to go.
Wow, that graph is coming down. Anviz?
For me, I would say AI, the ROI on AI is not a single metric. What matters most is what value it's delivering in terms of the business outcomes. And for us, we are seeing measurable gains in terms of productivity improvements, operational efficiencies, and customer experience. So I don't think the question is what is the ROI of AI. I think it should be more how effectively organizations are scaling AI.
Okay, so you're being diplomatic here, but needless to say, you are seeing a lot of benefits on account of AI. So Ketan, since yours is the most, right, 8 out of 10 in terms of ROI on your AI investments, what was that number, say 1 year back or 6 months back?
I think the number 1 year back would have been lower. 1 year back, we were still dabbling around with Gen AI, Copilot, Open AI systems, Claude was coming in. So the theme around that was around generative AI. Ask questions and get better contextual answers. So at that point, it was more about can I get more better responses and be able to articulate better responses and get more advice from AI. As compared to 1 year down the line, today we are moving into the world of Agentic AI. So there is a big transformational shift that has happened within the AI application layers, where I feel that if you are able to adopt the agentic AI journey, the returns that we could potentially expect is much higher in nature as compared to what we would get in a generative AI world.
And why is it that we hear very often that CXOs say that they're not seeing the desired return on their AI investments? Now, I was looking at this PwC survey, and they said, and this is 50% plus said, zero financial benefit or revenue accretion on account of AI. What's the disconnect? Is it because they're not ready, the architecture is not ready? Is it a measurement problem, an execution problem, or the fact that the benefits of AI were overstated to begin with?
Well, I would reiterate again that the question is not whether we are getting value out of AI or not. I think we are measuring it too narrowly and expecting it too quickly. AI is not like another technology that you buy, implement, and measure the revenue uplift immediately. AI is a capability which organizations use to deliver productivity, enrich customer experience, take faster decisions, and these are the value drivers which come much before they translate into a revenue or a P&L. Now, coming to the second part of your question on the disconnect, I believe there are three fundamental reasons. The first is the measurement problem. In most enterprises, they track AI initiative as a technology initiative rather than linking it to a business outcome. The second is the execution problem. While it is much more easier to deploy AI models like a Copilot or a ChatGPT, but when it comes to developing a workflow or building the data foundational layer or the operating model around AI, that's much more difficult. And the third problem is the expectation problem. In some cases, the expectation is overstated.
It's not a magic wand,
yes,
as Arundhati said.
Yes, and in the earlier days of AI, the way AI was positioned was to deliver immediate transformational returns, right? Which is not the case. The value of AI would come if you scale it effectively. Now, and the third part of your question which you had was around investments, right? Now, if you see in large enterprise, they have the appetite both for resources as well as the budget and the room for experimentation. However, that's not the case for small and medium enterprises. And we at Tata Tele Business Services focus largely on small and medium enterprises. So the question is, how do we deliver that value? We deliver that value by embedding AI into all of our product offerings. For example, SmartFlow, which is one of our flagship product, which actually unifies all of the communication channels like WhatsApp, chat, email, RCS, etc. And this is increasingly used by small and medium businesses in their customer care operations. Now, we have embedded AI on top of SmartFlow, which is actually helping the customer care agents to respond to customer queries faster. On a similar note, with Azure, we have the Azure AI offering, which many small and medium businesses are using for content management. So the AI layer is adding intelligence as well as the conversational intelligence and the analytics. Now, while we use AI for our customers, I think what's important is how do we use it within our organization, right? So Company IQ is one of the AI models that actually brings together all of the customer information. Now, it is not like a usual customer 360. I think it's way beyond, and we can call it a customer 720. And that's actually helping our sales executive to understand our customer better and also position the right product for the customer. Similarly, another model that I want to talk about is the Smart Buddy, which is a conversational AI model. And it helps the salesperson have a meaningful conversation with the customer. And this helps us to convert or shorten the lead to opportunity life cycle. So at Tata Tele Business Services, we use AI both as an offering as well as an enabler. So the way we see it is we use AI to make our work better today and discover multiple ways to make tomorrow better.
Some wonderful examples there, Anvis. But Amit, just to bring on that point, right? Large companies have unlimited tech budgets, deep pockets, but not all small and medium enterprises can spend that much on technology. So the ROI on technology spend has to be worth it, right? And we all remember that famous Uber case where the CTO said, we ran out of our token budget in months. Our annual budget was used up in a span of months. It was April when she said that. So that word ROI has a return and it has an investment. And that investment, that cost of compute, is also resulting in a lot of angst. As Puneet said, right, just because you have a flying car doesn't mean you take it to a grocery shop. You need to use it wisely. So talk to us at an investment level when you talk to other CIOs. Are people a little concerned about the cost of compute? What's the economics like?
So I think last couple of years, last 1 year, most of the time, like people are thinking about the budget, and CFO and CIO, they always have a fight in between the innovation and transformation journey. So most of the time there is a fight in terms of how to increase the budget in the innovation area. However, in the past there is a straightforward budget. The top line, against top line 2 to 3% of the IT budget. Most of the company, they have to go on that model. Nowadays, like startup, SMB and enterprise, they have a different strategy overall, and they are driving the innovation from the starting, and they have to set the clear path that what is the ROI they are expecting in each and every function. Like if I'm talking about supply chain, finance, sales, they have each and every function have a different ROI altogether. And based on that, they have to define the right path, that this much of budget they have to spend in terms of the innovation, this much of budget they have to go as a, maintain the IT infrastructure like Salesforce, SAP, all these existing tools. Because end of the day, this is the core of the business. Now, AI is on the butter, the bread and butter in terms of the ice cream on the top, the intelligence layer is coming over there. But if the foundation is not right, then always there is a struggle in behind that. So we have to maintain the foundation first, then going on the ROI model. In the ROI, again, we have to agree in terms of what is the tangible and non-tangible benefit. Like most of the companies, they are expecting the return immediately. And I think he's also mentioned right now that, the return is coming immediately. The expectation is there from CFO and CEO level. But that is not right, path and right expectation from the organization level. So therefore, I think we have to set the right mechanism in terms of what is the ROI we are expecting, in terms of the right business use case, in terms of the right investment for the particular project initiative, and then only we have to set the the long-term roadmap planning. So this is again, like most of the companies, they are following the right path on that.
Ketan, so let's talk about building that foundation layer to become an AI native company. The opportunity for the IT services company, the industry, $300 to $400 billion by 2030. A large part of that is predicated on modernizing the legacy tech debt. Now, your company, at Gulf Oil is also an old encumbered company. How does one go about becoming an AI native and reach maturity levels? And how long does it take?
So, see, the point here is not about legacy to modernization. That's my view. The point here is to make sure that the data does not exist in silos. The foundation of AI to be successful, and we all talk about AI being used as an intelligence layer. The biggest foundation for that is that how do we look at unified data, governance around that unified data. There is one more aspect that we always miss, is that process reengineering. Business process reengineering is the foundation of deploying AI, and it has to start first, because that sets the foundation in terms of how your workflows will be designed, who would be accountable to do what activity, what would be an AI agent do versus what would be a human do. All that has to be clearly defined. And the security part of it is the third aspect of it, that how do you put the right guardrails. You have to think about AI as an employee who has just recently joined your organization, right? And what are the right accesses you are giving to a new employee? What are the roles and responsibilities you are giving to the new employee? Similarly, you have to give it to the AI agent and move forward towards, is the agent making the right decisions or not? And then move into the autonomy part of it. So for me, process reengineering, and the last part that I forgot was around workplace upskilling, reskilling. If our workplace, our employees are not upskilled to use AI, if they are not moving in that direction to uplift, upskill themselves, reskill themselves, the whole investment around AI will fail. For me, these are the foundational playbook which has to be invested first. because there are a lot of AI tools available. You can look at a playbook of A to Z, and for each A to Z, you will have many AI tools available. The point is not about getting number of applications in the organization. The point is about using the right AI applications, which gives you business outcomes. Basis the foundation is clean.
But how is infrastructure planning? Now, for example, cloud. GPU capacity planning didn't exist for a CIO in their vocabulary 2 years back. So how has that changed?
That is absolutely changed, because we used to earlier think about user optimization, license optimization, or storage optimization. Now suddenly we have to start thinking of tokenomics, consumption-based economics. It's a new world for us, and we need to figure, because there has been...
So has the cloud strategy changed because of this, and if
absolutely,
yes, how?
Absolutely, and it is definitely going to evolve further. As he also mentioned, our budgeting strategy also changed. And we had never designed ourselves we were more predictable in budgets. Now that predictability has gone away with tokenism coming in. And we need to be figuring out the way of how do you manage this evolving changes, because there is technology within AI that is evolving. Second is, how are we getting the right outcomes? Is it beneficial? When do we scale? What level of scale that we think about? All that changes the economics very differently. Now you can't work on a fixed budget with AI. You have to work around an iterative budget with AI. And I heard there was a digital R&D spend that people spoke about, right? And you have to be a little creative around how do you think about what has to go into money now, what can change, what percentage of that could change. So everything is an evolving journey.
But Milind, when we talk about tech budgets, what we hear from enterprises is that the tech budget is largely static. Money is taken out from one bucket and put into another bucket. And the fear is that software budgets are coming down. So earlier, your CRM, ERPs was where work was being done. It was the place to do work. Now the question is software becoming less important? From being a place where work was done, is it moving to a place of records, a system of records on which you have an AI intelligence layer which acts? Which basically means if earlier software did 100, now maybe that split has come down to 60-40.
Now you're right. There has been a change which is happening. Specifically, if I have to have a good AI systems to work, I require to have a good transactional systems to work, which means I require to have my good ERP systems, CRM, HCM, any other particular transaction system which does the system of records has to be right. AI can only work on top of it. I have got two observations over here. One, I see in long run, most of these transaction systems will have its own AI getting in across. You speak with Arundhati from some time back, Salesforce will have its own AI. ERPs like SAPs, Microsoft has already been playing across well. So there is going to be a mix between intelligent ERP systems, and then you are going to have a second particular observation which comes across is a layer of horizontal AI deployment, which spans across the applications, because now you have got the power to connect the applications and then get a particular holistic business outcome. To give an example, from a forecasting across for my particular category of products, till it goes across to manufacturing, to go across to a consumer, I may talk across to 3 or 4 different particular application systems. And these are the strong trusted application systems where the systems or records are maintained. But then AI can sit across on top of it, give me a particular holistic view, give me a particular intelligence view on the way in which I can able to take a business outcome decisions properly. So I feel strongly is that the value of the ERP systems or the transaction systems is not going down, but that value is actually getting enhanced. Over a period of a time, those will be started becoming invisibles. You will be no longer talking across the screens or T-codes or any other particular ways of interacting with. You will be more talking across in a way of AI, then what to do next, how to do it across on. So my observation comes across is that yes, transaction systems are going to remain important. AI is going to be on top of it.
But which AI? Will you use the intelligence that is already getting embedded into a Salesforce or an SAP? Or, Anvis, you want to come in on this aspect, right? You have two choices, right? Salesforce is also embedding AI into their own enterprise applications. It is getting more intelligent. So either you stick with the vendor and the intelligence that comes along with it. Or then you say that I'm going to use the vendor's data and then maybe use another LLM like a Claude, Copilot, and bring in that level of intelligence.
I think that's a very tricky question, Rima, and I think you've put me on spot because we have the leadership teams both from Salesforce and Microsoft here. But let me make an attempt to answer that question. And as for me, there is no straightforward either-or decision here. In my view, I think most enterprises will use the hybrid approach. Now, when AI is embedded into an SAP, Salesforce, Microsoft, ServiceNow, it comes with its own inherent advantage. Number one, the AI is actually natively built into the platform. Number two, the business processes are also built into the platform. Number three, the functionalities or the application is governed by the security framework which is in the platform. And number four, it's faster to realize value. So for most use cases, this is a more practical and cost-effective route. However, I'm not saying that's the way to go. However, what's most important for us to remember is that there is no organization in the world which uses only one application. So every enterprise in the world uses multiple applications like a CRM, an ERP, a financial system, legacy systems, communication and conversational systems, and even custom applications. And all of the business processes cut across all of these applications, right? So we need, and this is where the enterprise AI has an advantage. And because the enterprise AI agent is able to orchestrate across these multiple platforms and execute the workflow that's needed. So in my view, the embedded AI will be winning at the workload level and the enterprise AI at the business process level. Or if I were to put it the other way around, the embedded AI will optimize applications and the enterprise AI will optimize outcomes. But there's one interesting fact, I think, which all of us need to be aware of. Having either an embedded AI or an enterprise AI is no longer going to be a differentiator, the sole differentiator, right? I think now all of us know that AI is becoming increasingly accessible to all of us. So two competitors can buy the same AI model, but what will differentiate one from the other is the enterprise data, the optimized business processes, the fundamental operating model, and the organizations that lead are not the ones with many AI models, but it will be those who will have a strong data foundation, a strong API layer, a strong integration built in, and an open architecture. So those are going to be the winners of tomorrow.
Ketan, come in.
Just on the same topic, because just want to agree with what you said. The differentiator factor for me which comes across is that while most of the organizations will have the same particular solutions, people will use the same ERP, same transactional systems, but the intelligence which comes across is the business intelligence on how the particular model works. That will be proprietary to the organization which is developing, and that disruptive advantage will come across from that particular intelligence, how an organization is drive across. Just to give an example, while CRM we talk across, Salesforce is a CRM, everybody will talk across on how the service can be optimized, can be serviced better. But in my particular case, I can able to use the same CRM to even understand what products are selling in the market, how can I able to improve my product quality looking at the challenges of the products which are coming through. And then the same CRM from a point of getting a service has now gone across to the innovations, improvement of the product quality, ways of doing a digital marketing differently, trying to identify and type the customers which can look into. So opportunities are going to be different, solutions may be same.
So the question is, data is not your moat. Everyone can have the industry data. The model is not the moat. Everyone has access to the same models. It's how you use it with your contextual knowledge. Who would you trust to make that decision, Ketan? Would it be a software company? Would it be the services company? Or would it be a tech model with FDEs, forward deployed engineers? who would you trust to bring in that intelligence, which is the real differentiator?
See, the real intelligence will definitely come from people who are running the business. I fundamentally believe that. Now, the people who are running the business today have to upgrade themselves to be able to adapt AI for making sure it is augmenting things for them, it is bringing better intelligence for them, as compared to what they are able to think through and decide on being able to take a decision. So the technology partners, the service partners, the FDEs can come in, but the people sitting in your organization are the most valued assets. And the knowledge that they have on how businesses are run, what works and what does not work, is going to be making sure that you are able to feed all that knowledge into AI. And AI is going to augment that for you. You have to think of AI as your best friend, is the way I look at it in a very simple way, because it's going to augment intelligence for you. And that's the way forward to me.
I want to talk about security because as Rajesh Nambiar said, right, that perhaps is the most underappreciated risk when it comes to AI. Well, it's all easy. Security is not complex when you have an AI only answering your questions. But when it is making decisions and there is an accountability attached to it, then how does one rethink security? Anyone come in?
The way I look into from a point of security, the accountability at the end of the day is lying with the organization which is running it, the business which is operating it. Depends across on the technology layer which business has deployed it, the technology team will be also accountable to it. If you've got a person who does the human in loop, does the transactions which validates, verify, human is accountable. The way the models are run, models are not accountable. It's the people who are running it are more accountable. Just the example which I gave a few minutes back saying is that in aviation industry, you've got a pilot who runs the particular flight and you've got an autopilot which supports him. But then the accountability lies with the pilot, not with the autopilot. So at the end of the day, the accountability is not human. Technology, is the business which runs it.
Are you all happy with the current security that you have and the guardrails around AI, or more work needs to be done?
I can take that question. I believe there is a lot of work still that needs to be done. So traditionally, the security frameworks that were built around humans. But with AI agents coming into the play, we need to now rethink about the security framework. So you will probably in future start seeing AI agent privileges, the access restrictions for an AI, the scope or the boundary within which an AI agent can actually operate. So if you were to ask me, I believe we are moving from a world of automation to a world of augmentations, where you will see both the human and the AI actor working together to co-create and deliver business outcomes. So redefining the security parameter will be extremely important and different than what it is today.
Do you think what according to you is the biggest limiting factor when it comes to AI adoption and acceleration? Ketan.
Culture.
One word, culture.
Culture.
Amit?
I think the maturity and the culture both.
Culture again.
It's the people who use it.
So again, that's culture in a way. Not cybersecurity?
I think it starts with culture.
It starts with culture. And number 2 factor?
Number 2 will be security.
Security. We don't have enough guardrails.
Yeah.
Security, again, there is a concern in this area, like the moment we have to advise for the tool and technology in AI front, we have to make sure that at the CDIO and CIO level, like what is the right product we are going to choose in terms of giving the business. Like
but when AI gives you an answer, gives you a decision,
correct,
do you still want a human to review it right now, Amit?
At the technology front, like definitely we have to review and we have to understand what is the right product, right tool we are going to propose to the business. That is one area. Second, in terms of the data side, again, the business is accountable and responsible. The quality of data, the structure of the data. So then the decision is coming based on the data. The tool will play the role in between, but end of the day, the decision is coming with the quality of data. So the quality of data is responsibility coming back to the business side. And the tools and selection of the tools and security in the back end, again, the technology leader, they have to decide accordingly.
So do you all trust AI with your data, customer data, operational data, financial data, if the consensus seemed to be that we're not fully up there in terms of the guardrails built around AI? Do you all trust? A show of hands?
Yeah, definitely. Like, AI front, whenever you have to start AI adoption, AI utilization, AI consumption, you have to go as a responsible AI user. Not like we are going to as a fancy item of AI model, but we have to make sure that all the guardrail we have in place, like we have a proper security infrastructure in the backend. However, we have some challenge in the market now. Again, the partner is not fully ready to make sure that they have a fully secure environment in the security backend, like firewall, gateway level security. We are defining so many things in the organization level. But still, we are not saying that we are 100% secure, because tomorrow, if something is coming in the new threat in the market, then again, we are not ready. Same thing like the AI model as well. Like, again, we are saying that we are ready. We are trying to adopt, we are trying to put all the security parameter, patches, everything. But end of the day, we are not 100% secure. And that is true. I mean, like in the market also, people are struggling on that area.
Any audience questions for our panelists? Okay, so then let me just end this up with one question. When do you think, in how many years, will we stop talking about AI as a strategy? It becomes the strategy itself. Just the way we no longer talk about internet as a strategy. How many years do you think it will take? Ketan?
Probably 3 years from now.
3 years. Amit?
2.5 years, I think, is going on that strategy.
Milind?
I think it's still not exploited quite well. It will go in for another 3-4 years more.
So 3-4 years before we reach the hockey stick.
Yeah, like the way you call across your digital camera, it took nearly 5-6 years to move across from digital camera to camera. But then AI will be faster, but then I think it will take some time. It's still a fancy word to be used across in the boardroom, the annual reports and other stuff. And I think that itself will give that particular mileage for another 3-4 years.
I'm sure boards are still having this topic. What's your AI strategy? I think that still gets asked, but maybe in another 3 years it won't be.
And after I have presented 2 times in the board earlier.
All right. Final word for the lady.
I think it'll be about 3 to 5 years. And as Naushir mentioned during his talk earlier, and the first statement that he made was, we still don't know what the finish line is, right? Now, AI is changing every day. So you would end up building, reiterating, reworking. So I think it'll take us a couple of years to evolve and say it's a part of the strategy and it's not a separate piece in it altogether. So that's what I would conclude.
Anvis, gentlemen, thank you very, very much for your time and insight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'd like to request all of you to please give Rima and our panelists a huge round of applause. I'd like to thank them once again for sharing their perspectives with us. Well, we had 2 brilliant panel discussions, and we hope that the takeaways were both informative and enlightening. And with that, we've come to the close of the Mumbai chapter of AI, The Next Frontier. This evening had brought together perspectives on how AI is reshaping technology services, enterprise transformation, and of course, the next phase of value creation. On behalf of NASSCOM and CNBC TV 18, I'd like to once again thank all our speakers for sharing their time and insights with us. A very special thanks to our associate partner, Tata Tele Business Services, for their support. And of course, a huge thank you to all of you for joining us this evening. We'd like to invite you now to continue the conversation over networking dinner. Please have yourselves a wonderful evening. Thank you once again.
Thank you.